Hey, this is Ray Quarry. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having us. We're excited.
When I get a band on the show, I like to do a roll call so that people that's listening right now or the listens on the replay, finds out who's on the call. So
Sure.
introduce yourself and what role do you play in the band? Who wants to go first?
Just gonna go
Oh
around.
yeah, go around. I'm Brian. I play guitar and do vocals.
I'm Daniel. I play guitar and also do vocals.
I'm Aaron. I play the bass, and our drummer's not here.
Had to work.
3 out of 4 is good. I got the word that 3 out of 4 was gonna call in, so that's cool. Um,
70. Yeah, that's my bad.
so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Any representation of a group or a band is good enough for me. So um, so let's. I want to say, man, I want to definitely talk about this album that y'all got on the way, Temporary Cemetery. That's gonna be coming out in a few weeks. I got
Yeah.
I got a chance to hear the entire album. Shout out to Jamie for making that happen. Uh, Amazing record. We'll get into that in a matter of moments. But first, um, how did this incredible band got together? How did y'all came about?
Craigslist, baby.
Craigslist, yeah.
The magic of Craigslist.
Yeah, believe it or not, Aaron he was trying to start a band, and he had thrown up an ad that was talking about some bands that I'm familiar with, and I was like, oh, this is a guy who knows knows his rock music, and
Yeah.
so I actually came and auditioned for his band on guitar, and we kind of dropped maybe a couple of other guys that weren't really performing, and kind of made our own thing out of it. So I had some songs that I was writing.
Yep. And then we just kind of grabbed more people as we went. So that's how it formed.
So I like how this band is described. Y'all guys are described like a amps to 11 style rock. Got a tradition from classic rock, to some hardcore blues to punk. Y'all like a nice variety, like a nice smoothie, and you just get all these genres and wrap it into one. And when
Yeah.
I first heard this album, I was completely blown away. I was like, man, I'm a
I
dude.
think that I think it's one benefit of not being on a label and just being like a garage band these days is you can do that, like you said, like you can have one punk song, one pseudo country, and all these different things, and there's no one breathing down your neck. 'Cause it's your show. It's whatever we want to do and whatever we want to put on the album.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's what I feel like music nowadays, people are more than just one genre. People like to be more than just, labeled just one genre. People like to be a lot more with the influences and everything and from one generation to another and this is an incredible band that you got here, and I definitely enjoyed this record. I even listened to the old music that you guys did, just to see how far y'all come musically. And let's go ahead and get into this album, Temporary
All right.
Cemetery. What was the whole process like recording this record, and what made y'all decide to name this record Temporary Cemetery?
Well, to start out, you said you went back and listened to some of the old music, so that was like some of the stuff that, we were already kind of doing as a band, and we brought Brian in on guitar kind of in the midst where all those songs kind of were written already. And so when we went in to do this album, we've been a gigging band for a couple of years, and we've been writing songs. Brian has a number of tracks that he wrote on this record, and so we're kind of, pulling more of the different band influences and the kind of sound that we get when we jam together. And so recording that, I think it was more collaborative than it was before. It really just more everybody kind of putting in what their style is and what their emphasis is.
As for the name, there's a line in Liars and Thieves. Tell me lies about the weight you carry in this temporary cemetery. And really, like, the theme boils down to these days, people have a tendency to over-exaggerate maybe things that are minor inconveniences or problems, when in reality it's things that might not have that big of an effect on your life. And you can really boil it down to, this might suck, but it's not going to suck forever. So you're in a temporary cemetery, so to speak.
I think there's a lot of songs on the album that ended up being kind of about moving on from one place of difficulty, or a place where there's been failure or disappointment, and on to the next thing. So I think there's obviously cemetery is a place of death, but I think there's hope in that, where we say, like you said, it's not going to last, only temporary.
I definitely like how y'all explained it, and this is definitely an album for people to listen to if they've gone through trying times or want to bounce back or whatever the case may be. We all have had setbacks in life, and people find ways to escape it. Music, for one, definitely can help escape, get you through those tough times. And this is an incredible record. This is the type of music that should be heard, not just in a platform like mine, like internet based. This should be heard on mainstream. Like, if I hear music like this on mainstream, I'm good.
That's the thing. I think that's one of the benefits about the podcast circuit and the internet radio these days, because it's kind of an in vogue thing these days to say rock is dead. But if you listen to college radio and if you dig far enough, I don't think it's dead. It's just it doesn't get the airplay that pop or other popular things do these days. So it's there if you know where to dig for it, I think.
Yeah, and I think you all appreciate it. I was listening to your show for a little while. I didn't hear the same kind of song twice. It was really very eclectic. And I think now we're in a place where people are moving away from the big radio stations telling them what to listen to. Everybody's got their own curated Spotify playlists and all that kind of thing. And so if you're in the market for some rock and roll, we're trying to help you out.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of the songs, I played a couple of songs a little bit earlier. I played Patience. I play Ghost Town, and I play Swing for the Fence, which I find kind of very appropriate, with baseball season on the way. Just thought I, put that out there. And but what are some of, as far as the songs that y'all recorded for this record, what are some of y'all individually? What are some of your favorite songs that you like, that you are so eager to perform in person? What's some of your favorite songs on this record?
I think my answer to the favorite song question will always be whatever the newest one is. And one thing about this record that was different from the EP, when we went into the studio, I think we had at least 2 Liars and Thieves and The Return that were not all the way done. And so that added a different dimension this time around, trying to finish them last minute and wrap them up. But I think I ended up, I'll always say I like the newest one first. It's fresh and it's something more exciting.
Yeah, I think my favorite one turned out to be Ghost Town. We were really excited about recording that initially, and I think the way it turned out was really special. And that one, and then of course the big ender, The Return. Like a 6.5-minute song. That was a song that I used to play on an acoustic guitar, as a solo artist, and that was the last one that got brought in to be added to the record, and did up a full band arrangement of it, and I think that turned out really exciting. So I'm looking forward for people to hear that as well.
Yeah, for me it's definitely the last one, the 6-minute song, just mainly because I like the build-up and structure of it. You don't know exactly where it's going to go, but it's pretty simple. But at the same time, it's very elegant, and it's very moving. When you listen to what he's saying in the lyrics, you're like, wow, I can't understand it fully, but it's empowering. And then if you just sit there and try and dissect it, you're like, oh, I get this, and then you can relate it to your life.
No guy can turn a phrase.
I don't know. I just like the main way it increases dynamically. It starts out with just him playing acoustic, and then we build up, adding the drums, adding the vocals and stuff, and it just builds up, and then it dies down and bass string, and so it's like a life. It's like a flower blossoming, and slowly gives life and then goes away.
There you go. You didn't think we were going to touch on the ephemeral nature of existence, so here we are.
This is definitely one of the very few rock albums that I know of that I can play from start to finish and not skip a single song. Every song just got a different feel to it, and whatever the case may be, my head is nodding. And I'm just got my little rock sign pose or whatever the case may be. It's just an incredible record. And I'm going to need all the people in Raleigh, North Carolina, because that's where y'all from, support this band. I mean, y'all get support already, but anyone else that's missing out on this band, don't wait until they get that record deal and they blow up. Support these guys now, because I think they own the bigger things. And this Temporary Cemetery record is just going to get them a step further, I truly believe. So, with you guys, with everything that you guys have done up to this point with this album, when can this album, when it's going to be released? Do you have a day for the release of this record?
Yeah, we do. The release date is March 26th. So it's going to be, 3 weeks from now? It'll be available March 26th, all the places you get music, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all those places. For local folks, we'll have some hard copy they can come and pick up at a show. So that's going to be in a couple of weeks, and then we're releasing a video for the single Patience, which you already played. That's going to be out early this week.
Awesome. So Temporary Cemetery going to be coming out digital music platforms March the 26th. The locals will get get the hard copies if you go to their shows, obviously. So do y'all guys have any upcoming shows that y'all would like to promote?
Well, we're playing tomorrow afternoon, so
if anybody wants to make the drive up to Raleigh, we're playing at a Poorhouse, 2:00. Sunday brunch, be there.
Yeah, Sunday Funday's a thing now. You all know.
Yeah. Plus, there's free pool.
But then the record release will be
April the 12th.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. We'll be doing that also here in Raleigh at the Maywood and playing the album start to finish. So that'll be a special night for us.
You should hear it live. It's much better live.
So, for people that wants to learn more of the band, upcoming shows, anything else that you got working on, where can people go social media wise or website that people can check out?
And so we are Raid the Quarry on pretty much everything. RaidTheQuarry.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. There's no tricks to it. It's just Raid the Quarry. So
RaidTheQuarry.gov.
And it's not like you're going to find a rock quarry and be like, what?
All right. So
.edu. Get some lessons.
.biz.
So I'm very curious about this band name in particular. How did y'all came up with that name? What made y'all name yourselves Raid the Quarry?
An artist can't give away his secrets, or else it won't have the same impact.
Leave you to stew on that one like a flower.
Yeah.
we talked about earlier. Essentially, it has to do with us being the music that we want to see in the scene. Brian said earlier, rock is dead, and I didn't think it was when I started writing these songs, but it's kind of just we've been in the local scene for a while, and I feel like nobody else is really doing exactly what we're doing, and so that's one of the things that keeps us doing it.
Well, it was great chatting with you fellas. Congratulations on this album as it approached the official release, March 26th, and then y'all got to celebrate the release officially on April the 12th. And so continued success, fellas. Thank you for your time, and I enjoyed the album already, and I'll be ready March 26th just to get that feel of Temporary Cemetery all over again, like everybody else once it comes out on March 26th. So thanks again, fellas, and appreciate all of you being on the show this evening.
Yeah, thanks for listening to the record. Thanks for the kind words, and we're glad to be on. It's a cool program.
Yeah.
All right, y'all have a good night.
You as well.
You too.
Bye.